So, I'm going to be doing some ship battles. This is my first time doing a voiceover, so we'll have to see how this sounds when I'm done. The first starting lineup I chose was a Houndstooth, Ghost, and the Milf. The new Millennium Falcon is being nicknamed the Milf from McMull. So this one I chose to put the breach on the TIE Fighter pilot to slow down his evasion. This is the first battle that I had done with it, so I'm trying to figure it out kind of as I go. I choose the Houndstooth to assist because it calls the ally you choose to assist and 2 rebel allies. So the Milf is automatically going to attack. I did the Phantom 2 as the first reinforcement because it reduces the cooldown of the end of the call reinforcement. And then you see I got a dodge there against TIE Fighter pilot, which kind of sucks because he's supposed to have less dodge, which would mean with that breach on there, he's only supposed to have 15% dodge. But it seems like breach isn't working, and I've seen some forum notes and bug reports that it's reducing accuracy instead of reducing evasion. So that may be a fix in the future, and you'll notice breach gets a lot stronger at that point when it works properly. So here I just keep hammering Houndstooth, trying to get those assists. And yeah, the battles are nice. Like I don't ever feel like I'm gonna lose. I don't feel like I'm out of control. Most of the time it's just, how long it takes. And my rebel fleet, they're not very strong. I'll show you, I think later in one of these video clips, I kind of go through some of my rebels, and we can talk about that when I go through. But they've got a long ways to go. I think that my Phoenix team, other than Ezra, who's gear 12, I think Hera's gear 11, Kanan and Zeb are both gear 8, and I think Chopper is gear 9 or 10. I don't remember which. So there's a long ways to go for these guys before they're super strong. And then my Han and Chewie are still only gear 11. I put the Zetas on them because they're good in other areas, but they're definitely not fully maxed out. So the ship will get even stronger, and mine is only 5-star currently. I will get a 6-star before the event's over. I just didn't want to rush and spend the money because I only need, I think, 10 or 12 shards of each. So in another 3 days or so, probably right towards the end of the event, I'll unlock 6-star and be able to put them in there. Let's see. Basically, this was a longer fight than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't getting that many assists, and Houndstooth lasts a lot longer when your Milf isn't super strong. It's able to actually take the hits. It's when you max it out and you start critting for that 65-70k, that's when the Houndstooth really melts. Like right there's a 57k crit. But if I'm not getting those crits, then it doesn't go down. He's actually stay up and take a lot of hits. So that was the first fight. Black screen here for a second. I guess I could do some editing over that, but looks like my next match, I chose to go against number 2 DTL because Stu is, he's my friend, and I wanted him up there for testing. Originally I was going to have him switch his ship composition up a lot, but his team was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. It's the first mirror match, so I tested against that for the last 3 matches with some different things. So I knew I was going to test against him, so I didn't want to bump him into 5th where I couldn't see him. So I went with number 2 so that I could have Stu there as an option to change his fleet around if I wanted to. See, they're double dodge with breach on. That's a 10% chance to dodge at this point, or it's supposed to be. He should not dodge 2 times in a row like that. So that, just another example, like don't count on breach, because right now it doesn't work the way it should. But then, I mean, most of you who do ships know that ship dodge rate is broken anyways when you get someone like Biggs who has a 2% dodge chance and he dodges 2 or 3 times in a row. Like, if you look at the statistical math on that, it should be near impossible for that to happen. But, you know, these guys don't know how to code their RNG properly. This battle was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be too. I need to get some more power into my Rebel fleet. I'm facing with, I think, a 370k fleet now versus 410,000 power teams. Whereas my old team was, I think, 405,000 power, somewhere in there. I was using the Thrawn with Houndstooth, Silencer, and I would switch between TIE Fighter Pilot starting and Vader's TIE Advanced as the starting lineup, similar to what they're using here. DTL switched at some point when I'm sure they got frustrated with my TIE Silencer stunning them and ramping up, so they switched their starting lineup to kind of match that. This is another, I mean, I end up winning this fight, but I lose a lot of ships. It's not super clean like I would have wanted. If you guys are watching this and you want me to try some different comps, I'd be willing to do some more testing with the ships I do have. McMull showed in one of his videos that Biston's ship would be a very good one for this. The problem is my Biston ship is weak. I think that my Scarf Rebel Pathfinder is level 50. I can take him to 7-star. I've got the shards. I just never did because it's a waste of power when I don't need that ship. Here I'm showing his Akbar. I'm showing Stu's Akbar. So I think I've got him beat on speed, but his Milf is decked out. Like, his hits hard. And that's going to contribute to this fight being a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And his rebels, they're in about the same shape mine are. So he's got a ways to go on that too. But I'm sure that over the next couple weeks, unless they release another capital ship or there's a leak or whatever, then we'll all continue to level up our rebels and our rebel fleet and make things stronger. So I think I used the same lineup here because I hadn't faced a mirror match. So just kind of showing there, I'm switching out the TIE Advanced for Cassians. I like to have Cassians for the dispel options, to be able to come in and dispel everybody and keep things going in my favor. Here I was trying to take out his ghost and I got no crit. If I would have got a crit from the Milf, it would have killed his ghost and that would have changed the whole fight. It would have made it 10 times easier, but I didn't get the crit. So from here on out, it's the mirror matches, it's a lot trickier, especially when their Millennium Falcon is stronger, and his Houndstooth is stronger. Mine is not 7-star yet. I only have a single Zeta on Bosk. Stu has a double Zeta, 7-star Houndstooth, so his is tough. And you see there, they just annihilated my Phantom 2 when it came in. So at this point, I was feeling like I was going to lose. I was like, damn, I'm not going to be able to win this. Things do turn in my favor, I think, coming right here. I think I pulled in Cassians for Dispel, and then I killed the Ghost, and that evened things back out a little bit. I used the Mass Assist here, and I'm pretty sure I got some big crits. I think I got 2 crits out of this and killed the Ghost. Oh no, it's just single crit, but it was enough. Cassian's, when he's leveled up, will be fantastic. But again, my Cassian's has a bunch of Gear 8 pilots. The other thing you'll notice, when he takes his outmaneuver turn, he gets 100% turn meter. Mine, I don't have as much turn meter gain because it's not maxed out. So I'm only getting about 60% or 70% turn meter, which it makes it a little tougher there too. I don't know Cassian's ship that well, so I'm trying to learn it here, but I knew that it gave stealth to both of them, so that forces him to target Houndstooth, and I think that's what kept my ship alive. The other thing that I did there is I did that AoE. I honestly think the AoE is kind of useless on Rebel. It just doesn't do much damage. I think that doing a basic attack there would have done a lot better. It would have potentially crit and called Cassian to assist, and he had advantage, so I could have probably killed that ship a move earlier. And here he's got the outmaneuver, so I can't target his Millennium Falcon, so I have to just kind of take it. Almost got the Houndstooth here, hoping to get an assist, and there it is. And then I get the special off. So if you don't know Admiral Akbar's special, it basically gives everybody 2 turns. You take your turn, it resets all your cooldowns, and you get to take an immediate second turn. There I didn't want to use outmaneuver because it would have been a waste, I think. Like, I needed the damage. I don't know what his reinforcements are coming in, but I just wanted to end the fight. And now he's got his ultimate. The thing that scares me right now is when Stu gets his Akbar up and he's going first, I don't know how that's going to go. The only reason I pulled this out is because I was going first. So we'll see kind of how that goes. I'm showing my ships here. So Wedge, I'm going to do some testing on Wedge, and I wanted to use the buff immunity that he comes in with, so I upgrade the ship ability here. I also show off his gear. He's gear 11, just because I used to run the Wedge and Biggs. He's almost stuck the same way the other ones are, where I'm stuck behind those eyeballs. And right now I'm stuck behind challenge gear, which doesn't happen that often. But the rest of his pieces are pieces that I can farm and gear. So I can gear Wedge and farm him at the same time that I'm gearing the other ones, because he doesn't need any stun guns. So I need stun guns for Han and Chewie and some of my Rogue One. And then I need eyeballs for Akbar and eyeballs for Han and eyeballs for Chewie. So it's eyeballs all day, and it's just... I'm stuck behind the challenge gear portion. So that's the rate is about 1 per week, unless I buy the challenge gear from the store. But I also have to buy the black eyeball portion of that piece. There's the challenge gear piece, which is the light eyeball, and the black eyeball is from raids and the store and all that. So you need 60 of the challenge gear piece and 50 of the black eyeballs to make one of the complete eyeball pieces. So here I put in Biggs and Ghost, full Rebel starting lineup. I almost got the kill there. I get the kill here with the AoE, and that makes this fight start off pretty clean. The problem with this starting line is that Biggs doesn't have anybody to target lock for him other than himself, so I can't really force the taunt onto him very well. It would be nice if that's another way where Biston would be really nice, is if, see that dodge right there, that dodge killed me. If that would have hit, Houndstooth would have taken half of his health as damage, and then the rest of the bonus protection stacking would have it wouldn't have been as strong. So if I hadn't gotten a dodge right there on Houndstooth, who has a 2% dodge rate, then Houndstooth probably would be dead a lot sooner off, and the fight would have been easier. But the fight here this time, it did feel better with Biggs in the starting lineup. If Biston was there, Biston would be able to target lock and force the taunt onto Biggs. He's right there that my wedge just got annihilated. He's not strong enough. He's a squishy ship. But I wanted to test with him because he's a much easier gear than any of the other ships. And I'm going to continue to do some more testing with him and see how he does. And then the buff immunity, and if I level him up all the way, buff immunity and healing immunity is a good kind of ace in the hole for getting on some ships. So here's the AoE. I think I get the kill there. Yeah. And now we're forced onto the stealth target, even though he's out in the open. We can't target him because other people are there. It's good and it's bad because most of the targets that are hiding in stealth are squishier type targets, and they benefit from their stealth. Well, at that point, if I had control, I would have rather the Millennium Falcon get attacked and have Sabine be able to stay in the shadows and do damage than to just have her get killed and have the Millennium Falcon out by itself. I didn't use outmaneuver there because I had advantage, and I didn't, or no, it was damage penetration, but I didn't want to waste the defense penetration. So here I come in with Cassian's for a big assist, and I don't remember if I get the kill or not. I did get the kill. I targeted Phantom with that, hoping that the Milf would auto assist. So instead of having a 100% chance that the Milf assists, I have a 50% chance and I get another attacker in there. So that's why I chose the Phantom as the target. I'm highlighting here that the healing immunity, if I level it to 3, might make him stronger. The other thing that might make him stronger is if I had that 8th ability on there, it'll make it so that if he crits, he's putting 4 damage over times on them. Damage over time in ships is amazing. The other thing about his special is it ignores armor if I level it all the way up, which makes it a very hard-hitting ability. And this is what I was talking about with the outmaneuver. That extra 20% turn meter gain is per rebel or empire, per rebel ally or empire enemy, which basically makes it 100%. And right now where it's at, I don't have it. It's only 15%, so I end up with like 60% turn meter instead of 100% turn meter. And I'm gonna need a lot of ship omegas to get this ship done and my other ships done, because most of my ships that are maxed out are Empire or, First Order, my Silencer. What else did I show off here? My Millennium Falcon, I'm going to continue to farm. I got it really far thinking that it was going to be required for this event, for the Milf event, and it didn't end up being there. So I'll show my Biston. My Biston's, he's weak. But the reason that he's strong is whenever someone finishes an enemy, they gain turn meter. And Biston gains turn meter. He can inflict target lock and go into stealth. And there's also a chance to give him turn meter. And then this is the really strong ability. He has 25% speed, which makes him really fast. But then anytime an enemy becomes target locked, the random ally and him gain 35% turn meter, which if you're passing that out to your ships and they're target locking and creating a target lock chain, it's a lot of turn meter going out. For example, Phantom, when she puts out her target lock, if she hits 2 people, that's 70% turn meter for Biston and 35% for 2 different rebel allies. That's almost a full turn, and in ships that could make the difference. The problem is that Biston, he's not used for anything else. He's worthless. Same with Scarlet Pathfinder. They're just absolutely worthless in the game, in the character side of the game. Here's the last battle of the night. I decided not to fight Stu. I was going to fight Fleet, who runs a Mace timeout fleet. When I was running my Empire, I would time out against him about 50% of the time. And it was super annoying and infuriating. Like, it's annoying to have to fight for 5 minutes and still lose because of Mace Windu garbage. So I'm glad that we kind of just chew through this. So I did the same thing with the full Rebel starting lineup. And yeah, we'll just see that this fight is a lot easier than it used to be with the other thing is he doesn't have the Milf, so it's hard to say. I think that's gonna really suck if this Mace Windu timeout fleet nonsense gets the Milf and Anakin's Starfighter and makes it just super strong meta. So we'll see kind of where things go or who comes up with that and makes it a thing that nobody can beat, and then you end up having to use Mace Windu, so all of us that went in on Akbar are screwed. I can see that happening. I hope it doesn't, but you never know. And this guy's fleet was already nasty, so if he gets the Millennium Falcon, it's going to be gross, because he'll have the damage he needs to back up the gross kind of timeout meta that he's trying to run. But yeah, it's mostly tanks. Here I call in Cassians so that I can clear off the stealth, clear off the valor, and then kill one of the other squishier ships. I think I targeted Scimitar here so that he can stop giving out stealth and protection. And then here I think I just finish him off because he's low, and then we're going to clear Biggs out. I don't remember if he gets another reinforcement or not. Doesn't look like it. So we beat a Mace timeout fleet with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Again, that's without him having Millennium Falcon. We'll have to see if that changes. But for now, I don't have to avoid him anymore. I don't have to do 5-minute battles and come down to the wire of, can I get my second ultimate up before the end and all that nonsense. Shout out to my fleet shard. Stu DeMarco, fleet, Wi-Fi light, DTL. Plays, he's one of the enemies in our shard. Virus, 6 Terminator, Saline, Vendilion, Palmy, Sebuan, Durara. Eric was tough. I've had a lot of tough fights with Eric. I don't know what it is, but it's, he was just one of those fleets that I had a hard time with. Thanks for watching, guys.